We're with Mr. Sam Pitroda in advance of the third edition of the Design Public Conclave, which will be held in New Delhi on April 20th. Mr. Pitroda, you've had a long career as a technocrat, as a policymaker. We remember you from your first innings in government, and this is now a sort of second innings where you are a member of the National Planning Commission and the chairman of the National Innovation Council. Many describe you as the National Innovation Tsar of India. Could you describe for us, in your own words, how you think about innovation?
To me, innovation is a buzzword going around all over the world. Everyone at the government level, corporate level, social sector level, in education, in health, in financial services, are all essentially talking about innovations. I believe the reason for that has to do with the fact that internet and web has transformed almost everything we do today. So everybody is focused on creating new processes, new products, new services, new ways of solving the old problems. And this has led to focus on innovation everywhere else in the world. And India is no exception. Unfortunately, when we think of technology, we think of software, computers, sexy, Microsoft, Apple, Google. That's not the way to look at the world, okay? Because that's the only model we know.
Okay.
So we are not being creative also.
Okay.
I don't need to create more Google here. It'll be nice, but that's not the goal in life. The goal in life is very different. And that is, how do I really improve the lives of 400 million below poverty line? And they don't need iPod, okay? They don't need another social network perhaps, but they definitely need information for agriculture. They definitely need better seeds. They definitely need, mobile phone and health related issues. And there are all kinds of things that we need to do before we worry about creating another Google or Apple in India. The idea is not to create more billionaires. The idea is to worry about the millions and millions below poverty line.
You've begun taking some steps to set up, for instance, these centers of excellence in design and innovation. Could you explain to us this hyphenated term? That is, what is design innovation as distinct from regular innovation, and or how do the concept or term of design relate with innovation?
You talk of design, people think it's a fancy product design. Can you design a better Cartier watch, Gucci bag, or shape of the auto? I believe we need design in agriculture. We need design in health systems. We need design in education to really transform the very basic process of delivering education. So our idea is to at least promote 20, 30 maybe new design schools. Different people have different ideas. Okay. Somebody would focus on agriculture. Somebody will focus on industrial design. Somebody will focus on design in government. So let's get many more people with different understanding of design into the mainstream. That's the idea.
I've been looking through your report, the report to the people of the National Innovation Council. And as in your own comments, it cross-cuts between information infrastructure focus as well as different kinds of process innovations and even education focus. So there is a kind of technical dimension to it as well as a social dimension to it. Could you speak more about this dual focus, and do you feel in the future that you will have more of a process and social focus than you have had in the past?
Public information infrastructure is a tool to innovate. So let's not confuse that. So when we are building a national knowledge network, or when we are connecting 250,000 panchayats to optical fiber, it is a tool for people to collaborate, innovate, do research, share resources. So a professor from Chennai can be heard at 20,000 colleges, or scientist in Madurai can share data with scientists in Delhi. That's different from the whole innovation process that is going on. Innovation is an activity which we have launched through National Innovation Council, which basically becomes a cheerleader for innovation in the country. We have written to all the state governments, we are setting up sectorial councils, we are creating 5,000 crore fund to seed inclusive growth-based innovations. We are going into clusters to seed innovations, so clusters can be connected to CSIR labs, universities, banks, and create ecosystem for innovation. These things take time. I don't think it's going to happen in 2-3 years. Okay. It might take a decade. Okay. But we are beginning to change the conversation. Earlier there was no conversation on innovation. Now there is conversation on innovation. I think that's an important step forward.
You make mention of this so-called decade of innovation that we are already 2 years into. Could you look out at the end of that decade and describe to us the place we will be at?
We have spent 2 years, and in 2 years we have created institutional framework for innovation with national councils, state councils, sectorial councils, fund, programs like this for outreach. So I think we have put innovation on public agenda. We have requested all government departments in the central government, before getting project approved, they have to put 3 ideas on innovation in the document, okay, which is big step forward in the government. Not that all 3 ideas will get implemented overnight, but now everybody is thinking about how do I do things differently? Am I really adding value? Am I coming up with new ideas? Am I reducing costs? Okay. So that conversation has started. At the end of the 10 years, I would like to see in 100 domains, 20 each talking about innovation and driving innovation.
As you know, at the Design Public Conclave, we have representatives of different walks of life. There are senior bureaucrats, there are academics, there are representatives of industry and civil society. Could you speak to how these different players, actors that are in some cases strictly speaking outside of the governmental process can contribute towards this transformation of India into an innovation society?
First, I think we all need to learn to collaborate better, all of us. We don't collaborate as well as we should. Within government, outside government, in between governments. Okay. So if this group of people can come together and recognize a need to collaborate, second big step forward would be to really focus on unique, novel, innovative public-private partnerships in many areas. Because we need in the government outside input, somebody who is a catalyst, and private sector can play that role to an extent.
Great. Thanks so much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you at future editions of Design Public.
Thank you, and good luck to you all, and I look forward to working with you all.